Hey, all right, you guys. Summertime Kev's here. Oh my gosh, November in Middle Tennessee. Yes, that is the sun. There is no wind. That's the 21 FishPro. We're gonna do maintenance on it real quick, and then we're going on the lake. It just needs spark plugs, so we're gonna do that real quick. And I'm gonna take you along for that. So hang out for a few minutes, watch me change these spark plugs, and then let's go to the lake, see if we can't put a fish on the ski today. If not, we're definitely gonna enjoy the weather. This 21 model takes a KR9C-G, which is straight out of the manual. I'm only gonna use the manual to make sure that the gap is set correctly on these. It's the NGK spark plug. Seats come off and the cover comes off. Pull the spark plugs out, put the new ones in. It doesn't take very long. This is how you do it. You can, download the manual, go read your manual. It tells you a few little specifics about it, but basically you're just gonna take out the spark plugs and then put the new ones in, tighten them down right, and you're done. Check the gap on these, obviously, but other than that, there's not a whole lot to it. So let's get started. Take this round cover piece off. I always put my screws in it right there. We're going to be taking it off with a T30 and a number 10 socket for underneath here. So these front two have a bolt on them. It's kind of weird. I don't know why they did that, but that's how they did it. So it has a bolt and a washer on it. Be cautious of that. Just slide it under here. You don't have to use and just lost one of my washers. Just didn't lose the bolt. It's a lock washer anyway. I mean a lock bolt, so it doesn't really matter. So you can do these by hand. When you take them off, it's not as important. You can use this, but when you put them back on, be very careful and tighten them down. Don't torque them down too much. When you take them off on this way, when it starts coming up, you have to lift up on this so it doesn't push the other piece that's holding it down out of its slot. I'm missing one back here. You got to be real careful with these ones in the back, because that little piece, that little lock mechanism they got that snaps in from the bottom, if it falls out, it's hard to put it back in. And it's not hard to put in, it's just you can't get your hand back there and hold it. There's something in the way. So you gotta be real careful with these. And off it comes. This, I believe also, these are T30s. This is a 17-piece E-socket or star bit set. I think it's $6 or $8 maybe at Harbor Freight or whatever. If you don't have one of these, you need one of these for the FishPro, because all these star sockets on here, and they're also called Torx, and that is a 30, by the way. So we'll take these coils off. Okay, those are off. Then push the little button here, pop this off, so you can spin this around, give it a little spin and a little pull, out she comes. And I like to put them back in order, like 1, 2, 3. So I'll set them in order here. Push this button, push it back, give it a little twist, out she comes. Easy, easy. That's 2. Push this button, pull it back, give a little twist. It's just this this fuel rail is kind of tight in here, and with them plugged in, they're not going to come out as easy. I mean, you gotta take them out anyway. So there's number 3. All right. So now we're going to get the spark plugs. Look at that. There's no water, no oil. It's a 500-hour machine now. 500.1 hours. Wow. Them were 500 fun hours too. This is always a good idea. This is a deep socket 5/8, and that fits it perfect. So I know what it takes to get it in and out. So let's check the gap on it. Spark plug gap, 0.7 millimeters. Spark plug gap, 0.7 millimeters to 0.8 millimeters. It's 0.028 to a 0.031. 0.030. So it's within the margin. And these are $1 at Auto Parts. This one, oh, that one's a little bit, it's a 0.030 We'll do one at a time. So there's lefty loosey. That was it. Perfect. There's a trick to getting these out of here, and I can't remember what it was. I saw somebody do it. But I'm just going to use this. Very tan all the way around like it should be. And we're going to put it back in the same way. We're going to grab this and very carefully go down and make sure that we don't drop it. And just roll it around in there till it catches. Like so. Hand tighten this all the way. It's hand tight. Now, okay guys, a word of caution. Always use a torque wrench on your spark plugs. I didn't have one available at the time, so I did it half a turn after it's seated, and then I snugged it down. And I've done that many times, but don't do that if you don't feel comfortable with it. Get a torque wrench. They're not very expensive. One more thing I forgot to show, put anti-seize on the threads on your spark plug, and then you're going to just take your rubber boot and push it back down, and you'll hear it kind of snap and click. And then you're just going to take your coil plug and just plug it back in. It'll snap. And on one of mine, it was kind of tight, and I had to have it had the rubber piece a little bit sideways, and just kind of line them up and then turn them and then snap them. But you'll figure it out. Super easy to do that. And then you're just going to tighten that retainer bolt down, and your first one is done. 2 more to go. I like to do one at a time because that way you get one done, go on to the next one. You don't have any chance of having, you know, holes going down into your motor and then dropping something down in there. That would be the last thing you want to happen. That'd be messed up. You get you in trouble. And plus I'm changing mine about every 100 hours. There's number 2. Looking for number 3. No problem turning these out. Because I changed them about 100 hours ago. My manual says spark plugs every 200 hours or 2 years, whichever comes first. So to here would be half. Tighten them up. There, we're done. Spark plugs are done. Oil. Supposed to check it hot or normal running temperature. The FishPros come overfilled from the factory, so I just run it to the top line. It's right there. Everything is good, snug, clean. Oh, while I got it open, Yamalube is my preferred. I just like the way it works and the way it cleans to everything. I think they're all about the same. While I'm open, just gonna get a nice little spray of this. Basically, this is gonna protect everything from corrosion, salt water, regular water, just whatever, rust. And it just gets, I've already done it because I just got back from Florida, but I'm just gonna give it a little more rundown on this back side. Here, put this back on. Remember I said be careful on these back two? I always do this one first. I want to make sure I get it in there and it's going in before I do anything else. And it caught it. So all these others I start by hand. Some of them are kind of low. Like if these were to pop out, you can reach underneath there easy, but these back here, impossible almost. That's why one of mine is missing. It took me an hour one time to put it back in, then it popped out again on me, so it didn't go back in. It's probably down in the hull, so I didn't put it back in. I haven't got it out yet. So I am by no means a mechanic, but I have been changing my own oil, no big deal. And I've been changing my spark plugs every 100 hours, it's no big deal. I did change out the radiator fluid at one point because it suggested that. And you got to put in the Seadoo brand in there. You can't just grab it off the shelf. Gotta put this on. So I hope that was helpful. That was a simple process. There was a few tools I used. If you don't have torque set, you need one for the Seadoos and the FishPro, and it's just a 30T. I'll just leave mine right in here. It'll be ready for the next time. So the tools we used were torque set. I did check the gap with a spark plug gap checker. Here's a different one. I did look up the gap. Spark plugs, a number 10 open closed in socket. And I don't know, I use this little thing right here to drop the spark plug in there and to get it out, and that works real good. And then I used 1 wrench and 5/8 for the spark plug. Get it in and out, and we're good to go now. I hope this helped you guys. Hey, so that was my quick tutorial on how I changed my spark plugs. I'm not a mechanic. I don't claim to be one. I have the manual. I've changed them at least 4 times because I've got 500 hours on my ski, so I go every 100 hours. So I probably changed them 5 times, probably the 5th time. I've never had any problems the way I've done it just then. Consult your manual. Hit me up, text me or whatever, and I can look my manual up. If you don't have one, I'll tell you what mine says. I'll read it to you. I'll scan the page to you. It's a 21 FishPro, 500.1 hours on it. And right now, we're gonna load it up, and then we're gonna take it to the lake, and we're gonna ride today on a November 2nd, and look at this day. So we've got oil change, new spark plug, and impeller and wear ring because I trashed it a month ago, about 6 weeks ago. I mean, trashed it. Went 400 and 80 hours, 460 hours on the machine. Not one thing happened to it. And I didn't do anything to it except for this time. One misjudgment and not paying attention to where I drifted to, and then not really paying attention to my depth and looking around and not stepping out to get off of where I did not know I was in 6 inches of water, because I drifted up on a pebble sandbar, but it was rock sandbar, basically just little bitty you know, pebbles or river rock, whatever it is. Man, sucked them up and like that fast, trashed the pump. But when I did replace the wear ring and the impeller, feels like a brand new machine, because it had 460 hours on it, so we had lots of wear on the, you know, on the wear ring, and you know, it's a little bit of wear on the impeller, but we're good to go now. So we're gonna load it up with the fishing gear, which most of it's right here. Gonna get some fishing poles in here and see if we can't put some fish on this ski today. Come along with me and let's see what happens. All right, we are on the water. Look at her sitting pretty. Let's get out there, put these fishing poles to use, see if we can catch some fish today. Oh man, the ski is running great and it is gorgeous out here. I managed to put a couple of fish on the ski. That was great. Fishing wasn't too hot. It was almost sunset, so I decided to go ahead and enjoy the ride in, kind of go a little slow, take a look at that sun, just relax. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you have any questions about changing those spark plugs, just message me and I'll see if I can answer them. If you need anything out of my manual, I'll be glad to send it to you. Also, I'd love to have you as a subscriber on Kevin 11 Outdoor Adventures on YouTube. See you guys soon.